Hi there, it's Stefana with Yogilachi. I want to talk about adrenal glands today. So we are seeing a lot of adrenal fatigue as a chronic condition now, and I'm hearing more and more from the clients and students that come to classes, and I want to talk about it because this is something we all need to know about and understand so that we're not just kind of going in blindly with this idea that give me a pill and fix it, or what needs to be removed. We need to understand what these beautiful little gems are that are like caps over the kidneys. And they're just little caps right over the kidneys that have a very powerful responsibility, but they shouldn't be having to work all day long, and they are doing that. So here's what they do. They are actually responsible for the fight or flight mechanism in the body. That means that if there's an emergency, they immediately shut off the other non-essential actions like digestion, certain things that are just everyday functions of our body, and they go into emergency response so that you can get away from the lion, or you can lift your car off your baby. Okay, so it's that kind of power. They have enormous responsibility when the time is right. But we have created an artificial emergency state almost every day. You know why? Because we are not creating balance and allowing for our bodies to relax and to come back into that parasympathetic. On the autonomic nervous system, there are functions that the body does and has that are super important. And when the sympathetic, or when we're in that fight or flight state, the digestion is not going to operate. So then we've got all kinds of symptoms and issues that go along there. So then we can start looking at these categories of symptoms of, well, I've got bloating, and I've got this, and I've got allergies. And what I really want us all to do, and what I teach my clients, and what the whole mission of Yogilachi is that we need to take back the controls from the inside out. And that's going to start with becoming aware of what the holistic function of the body is. Physiologically, there is a system that is not fully understood by the medical community, and there are parts of it that are understood, but as a whole, it's not. And that creates a big problem, because then we're throwing a pill at something that actually has so many streams of side effects and causes more issues. So we need to support the adrenals, and I am a big fan of supporting them in a way by first doing no harm, and secondly, doing things by removing things that are not essential, or that we've started to do because we have been taught to buy something, or that there's something outside of us, because we're not whole. And that idea in itself is false. You are whole, you are perfect, and I liken it to Michelangelo sculpting David. He's seeing in the marble, and all he does is chip away until his David appears. I see that for you. Sometimes we just have to chip away all the excess that has been put on there. And it doesn't mean just physical stuff, because we are mental, emotional, spiritual beings. So all of this goes into that. What are 3 things that you can do to help with your adrenal glands? The first, and this is sometimes really hard for people, but it's the number one thing that I work on with clients, and that is letting go of the things that are not essential in your life. What are you doing? What tasks, what actions are non-essential? And first people say, everything's essential, I have to do everything. And right there, as I'm listening to them, I know that their adrenals have been on that high extreme of emergency mode for so long their mind is not functioning properly to be able to differentiate between what's essential and what's not essential, what's important and what's not important. Everything's important. I've got to do everything. And that's not true. There are only a few things that are truly essential in your world, and that's going to take work. It's not a quick fix. And if you need more help with that, that's what Yogilachi is here for, so that you can do it step by step in small doable changes. And the second thing is that we have to ground. We are so disconnected from nature in that our sleep cycles are off, and we're not even getting outside to have fresh air on a daily, regular basis. Our children are not getting this. They're stuck inside of classrooms. They're stuck inside of a desk. They're on surfaces that are plastic with their shoes, and they're not touching the ground. They're not out. We're not out in the earth with our feet grounding, lying on the earth, laying down on the earth, connecting, so that our central nervous system can come back down to its natural state that should be where we're at. So the third thing I want to look at is how you can implement doing a digital sunset and removing the phone. Specifically, I'm going to say the smartphones because it's now an epidemic. People are addicted, and so our brains are now being wired to look for the likes, look for the next ping from the Instagram, look for the next text. And I've got to tell you, it's not essential. It's not. We survived 25 years ago without it. 20 years ago, even 10 years ago, we survived without them, and we thrived. And now we are in the situation where people are 24/7 connected to something that's arbitrary, that assigns what's important and not important, and that keeps your brain on high alert, which means your adrenals are back there spinning their little hearts away, constantly going. And there's no time for them to relax. So there's other tools that we can use, but those are the 3 actions that I would suggest right now implementing in your life. They're super easy. They don't cost you anything but a decision and then taking action. And if you need more help with that, again, that's why Yogilachi is here. I have the free videos. I have amazing transformational programs if you want to go full in depth to working with me one-on-one, to just operating and functioning off these basic videos that I try to put out there so that we can take back the controls of our health from the inside out. I hope that helps. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, be sure you do, and I'll see you on the next episode. Bye for now.